Nós recebemos aqui na Saga Lapa o Ruben Henares, que é Lead Technical Artist do game The Division da Ubisoft. Ruben esteve no Brasil para o lançamento oficial do jogo e coletiva com a imprensa, e também aproveitou esse momento aqui na Saga para um bate-papo com os nossos alunos, onde deixou dicas muito importantes e ricas para quem está estudando para entrar nesse mercado, ok? Confira no vídeo as dicas do Ruben.
Well, when I started about 16 years ago, we didn't have the schools that you have today, like Saga and other places. So basically, the good thing about schools like this is that they give you not just they train you on the software and the skills, but also they give you a path, which is very important. When I started, I went to a school as well. But I learned how to use a 3D software. That's it. But I didn't know what to do with that. I knew how to model, texture, and do lighting and do a render. But from that to working in a game or working in a TV show, there is a difference, right? I didn't even know what I could do with the 3D software. I knew how to do 3D, but I didn't even know the options that were out there. Which is a very good thing that you guys have. You know already the options that are there. You can choose which one you want more or less, and you can just take that path. So what I had to do was to take the hard path, like the bumpy path. So I put together a portfolio and I sent it everywhere. And the first job that I got, they offered me a job and I took it. That's it. And it was for a TV show. And I was doing environments and lighting, modeling, texturing, and lighting of environments. And then after I finished that, I said, all right, so I know I can do TV, so what else can I do? And I looked at, I didn't even know that I could do video games. I saw architecture, so, oh, really? Can I do architecture as well? And then after architecture, I found out about video games. I was like, really? Can I do video games? And I played video games when I was little, like a lot. I really liked it. And my dream was to make video games. And I had no idea that the path that I had chosen would put me there, which was awesome. So it was an accident. And then I started working in video games. There was nothing in Spain, so I had to go. My first job in video games was in Scotland. I didn't speak English. So I did an interview and I didn't understand it. So I went there and I worked on a video game for a PlayStation 2. And I had already tried then TV shows, architecture, and then video games, and I thought that video games was what I wanted to do. And from there, I tried to just get jobs at video game companies. And then I ended up in Ubisoft. Originally I started as an environment artist. I was doing environments and lighting. So it's the same thing I was doing for TV but for games. And then I became a technical artist. The reason why I became a technical artist was because I was working in that company in Scotland for the PlayStation 2. And I was working on a level. I was environment artist, right? So I was doing the modeling, everything. I was working on a level that was a volcano, the interior of a volcano. And then there was a column of stone, right? There was lava underneath. And you had to go around the path and then climb and then path and then climb, right? So the player would go around. And when we got to the end, there was like a stone, a big stone, big piedra. And then I thought it would be very cool if we could have like sparks behind the stone, right? Coming from the lava and stuff, just sparks. So in order to do that on PlayStation 2, we had a mesh, right? And you're familiar with this, a mesh with a texture scrolling, right? But it looked horrible because it was just a texture scrolling and it was horrible. So you could see the tiling, of the texture and stuff. So we wanted variation. And in order to have variation, the way you did it was with vertex alpha. So we subdivide the mesh, we paint vertex alpha, and we fade in and out the texture, and it scrolls, and it break up the repetition a little bit. And then since the mesh was subdivided, and I had to paint the vertices, the alpha of the vertices, I ended up with a very complex mesh. And I thought, well, if the alpha of the mesh of the vertex is 0, the polygon doesn't need to be there because it's transparent anyways. How can I figure out which ones are 0? So I learned scripting, and I did it. I processed the mesh, found out which vertices had 0 alpha, and delete them. And that's when I realized that scripting could help me do my modeling and stuff faster, and do things that I couldn't do by hand. And then from there, I started going more into getting more into scripting and more into scripting, working as an environment artist, but using scripting to work faster and better. Things that have really helped me through my career. If you want it, I mean, it sounds very topic, you know, but if you want it, you do it. That's it. Don't stop. I always say that I'm sure I'm not the smartest guy in the team, but I may be the one that works the hardest. You know, if it may take you an hour to figure out something, it takes me 5, but I'm gonna stay those 5 until I figure it out. So do not stop. I mean, just keep going. Another one is you yourself, you set the bar where you want it. Do not set it too high because you're gonna burn yourself, but do not set it too low either. Choose your references. You know, choose who is your reference. Choose where you want to get, and just step by step, just get there. The other one is don't get lost in the details. Do not get lost in the details. Work from macro, and I'm sure your teachers are telling you this already, but
every second in the class.
So work from macro to micro, always from macro to micro. There is no reason spending 2 hours working on something that is, at the end of the day, the render that you're doing is gonna take 5 pixels on the screen. Don't put a million polygons there. Your scene is gonna take 10 times more to render, and no one is gonna see it, unless it's an animation and you're planning to zoom in and stuff like that. But then you do different shots, anyways. I think we need to stop.
Yeah, I say this one.
Sorry.
Bem, queria deixar em nome da família Saga um agradecimento ao Ruben Henares por todas as dicas que ele deu, pela conversa, pela disponibilidade e por toda a simpatia que ele demonstrou com os nossos alunos. Nós temos certeza que essas dicas farão muita diferença na vida profissional desses alunos. Valeu, Ruben. Obrigado.